All right, so this is my dilemma. I am. I want to go to the regionals in December 9th with either one of these decks. They both do different things. While one has floodgates and can stop the opponent from playing point blank, it can be hit certain ways and be stopped, obviously. But playing through interruptions, this has stuff to go through it. But then this just does the different. They do different things, and I'll showcase even like off of these. Like this is a one card going into plays, and this is like a two card going through interruptions and stuff. And this does more in its own way, while this does things in its own way, but it's more simplified. And this sets up floodgates, while this one just can OTK, and this has restrictions from the extra deck if you're playing with Joker Straight and Wild. While this has no restrictions, and I'm running both versions with Horus, but I'm playing with it differently depending on them. While this is more, this has fusions, exceeds, links, and stuff. There's no restrictions. This one has restrictions, and since I go into the Utopia cards to draw cards, the majority of the extra deck, if not all of the extra deck, is Utopia cards. So it's like I'll show you what one can do, and it's just I'm stuck. And then it's like I go to all regionals. I top 32 or something years ago with Stardust Assault mode, and people didn't see it coming. I was running it with Cyber Dragon, just a special summon, and it was back when the format said you had to link summon first before Exceed or Fusion anywhere else. So I would summon Cyber Dragon, and then get rid of all their extra deck cards, and then go into like Side Reflector, going into Stardust Assault mode, and then he moves himself when you activate Stardust Assault mode, the trap. So like it was different, but it's like I like playing with what I love and what I have, and if new cards come out with it with ideas, I innovate it into my decks. So these are the decks I love, and like I've won tournaments with them, I've topped tournaments with them, and I love it. So I'm never one to jump ship. Oh, there's a brand new deck that has more wins. It's like it's easier, so you don't have to use your brain so much. But I don't jump ship. I'm like, all right, that just gives me another challenge for my decks to beat. So I'll just show you the dilemma, and it's like I said, this has restriction, but this also has floodgates. If it goes off, they can't play at all. While this one, they can still play, but depending on the interaction, they might not be able to. But this can play through boards. So it's like even off of, and like I said, I'm running the Arcana, the Horus cards in both. They have different versions. So it's like even just off of Bauer by himself, he would go into King and Queen, which would go into Utopia double, which that searches out double obviously, and then I would go into 99, and since he brought him out, he is 6,000, and then use his effect to detach 2. He would go into 99, the dragon. Then the dragon would bring back Utopia double from the graveyard, but since it's in defense mode, then I would go into lightning. So it's like Awful Bauer by himself going into all of this. Your end board would just be from Bauer, would be 6,000 discard. Then your dragon at 4,000, and then you have lightning, so 25. So it's like one card going into 3 powerful monsters. While on the other hand, this has interruptions in its own way, and I'm running Raw in here, so Raw can just clear fields, but you have to have it. While this side, let's say you have Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon and the Stone. So then it's like you would normal summon the Stone and then link it away to go into Relinquish Enema. And then they would have to Ash or DD Crow or something with this if they want to negate it. If not, then you search Blue Eyes. So, like this is live. Now this can absorb a card, so they will have to negate this. If not, let's say they even have 5 monsters on board that they're powerful, but you play Dark Ruler no more, and they have 5 monsters. You do this, you get into this. Now you use his effects, absorb one of them, because obviously, like I said, they have 5 monsters. You're taking one of them now. Then you reveal Blue Eyes to special summon Alternative. Alternative will pop another monster. That's you getting rid of 2 of their monsters. And now since you use his effect, he can't attack. So then obviously now you have a link and stuff, and now you can just link them away. Go into SP Little Knight. Little Knight, since you used the link monster, banish the 3rd card, and then you can use him, target him and the other card, banish a 4th monster. And now, you know, whatever else in your hand. But it's like basically, like I showed you, like off of 2 cards, you're interrupting for 4. Because it's like use, put him up a little bit. You're using him to go into Relinquish Enema. He gives you the Search of the Blue Eyes. Enema's effects, absorb a card, and then you summon Blue Eyes, pop a card. So it's like you're interrupting for 1, 2, 3, 4. So like you're clearing 4 cards off the board, and then if they have 1 monster left, then that's it. If you didn't play Dark Road no more, you're just playing through stuff like they have to negate, or you're just gonna just do stuff. So it's like, this is my dilemma, and it's like, I love both of these decks, but this has different options, and I have Exceeds, and I've upgraded it from the last build when I went X1, but I'm still playing with it because I don't know for certain how guaranteed I want to do it. Like, it's way more consistent with more cards. I'm not going to show it yet, but it's like I still love this card, and then this has Floodgates, so it's like, even off of the Floodgates by themselves, if you could go into the drawing, like I've showcased the combo before, but you can end with Dark Road no more. They can't special summon. You got Jinzo. They can't play traps. Then even with Horus on the field and Secret Village the Spellcasters, they can't play spells. So it's like, it has answers to all the decks. So you're playing Sky Strikers or a deck that just, plays a lot of spells, you can just end on M-Seti. And Secret Village of Spellcasters, they can't play spells at all, so it's like, you guarantee gonna win. But you can do that with either or deck. All you need is a spell, field card, and M-Seti. So you can do that in here too. You could just ditch him, search the continue spell, bring him back, and play. Like, I run that spell lock out in both decks, because there's a lot of decks that have not but a lot more spell cards than anything else, and then if you're just ending on him and that, like, that's more than enough. If they play spell cards too, like, heavily, they can't do nothing, so then you can just ditch another card, bring out all the Horus cards in either deck, and then just go from there. But my dilemma is like, do I want to play Blue Eyes with no restrictions and the Exceeds, do other things and the links and everything else, while this I cannot afford to play Little Knight in here, but it has Fear Mode and stuff, so it's like I can chuck and get rid of cards point blank and continue going off. And this has recursion with the spell and the traps, Joker's Wild and Joker Straight. It has recursion, so it's like, I love the recursions. This has no recursions, but other than Blue Eyes Jet in graveyard, but that's if he doesn't get banished or they don't banish both of them. But I also run Dragoon in here, and then some decks still can't get over Dragoon, so like they wasted all their negates on even the 2-card combo I showed you, and then I was still poly into Dragoon, and then they can't get over Dragoon, so it's like I still win. So like each deck does something I love, but it's like trying to figure out what I want. No restrictions and do other new shit, or restrictions and heavily Floodgates where they can't play at all. So it's like, what do I want? And I'm waiting for the other 2 to come in the mail, but I picked them up for a decent price off the mail, so I got the collector's rare. But this is my dilemma. Either going with Arcana Knights to regionals, or going with Blue Eyes White Dragon regionals. And I didn't upgrade to these rarities to not play these decks or not use the cards at all. I am not a collector. This is a hobby, and I play the cards. It's like, what else would you want to get cards if you're not going to play them? But that's me. I know everybody's not like me, so. And I know some people can't afford these cards, but it's a trading card game because somebody I asked if they had. I was trying to get this in cash, but they're like, oh, they didn't have it because they're not rich. I'm like, you don't have to be rich to trade cards, and he's like, yeah, you are completely right. And I'm like, at the end of the day, this is a trading card game, so I was like, you could have pulled it from a pack, and I have tons of extra cards in my extra decks and binders. And some of the sphere modes, I didn't buy them. The Ghost Rider sphere modes, I got them in trades. It's like I traded a bunch of cards to get the rarity I wanted because I was going to play it, enjoy it, and love it, and I'm not getting rid of them. These decks stay here. If I stop using them, they will stay whatever time period I stop playing with them, and they're lost in time to that. That's the build they're going to be at. And so I see it again and get new cards and update it. But these are the decks I love. These are the decks I play on a regular. I go to tournaments, innovating them. I still catch people off guard. And like, I didn't know that could do that. I didn't know it could do this. It's like, because these decks, you have to actually think and figure out a strategy of what you want to do beforehand to make them relevant. Well, like some of the newer decks, they're like so easy that they're meant for kids to understand it, to come into the game, to get new players to come in. Oh, you can do this, just does so many thousand things, but you don't really need to be a good pilot to pilot them. You could just pick up the deck and play with them. Well, what I do requires you to think more, and that's what I like doing, using my brain to come up with things in a different way to make it relevant. And even if they beat my decks, they're like, oh, I beat an Arcana Knight player or a Blue Eyes player. All right, big deal. But if you lose and I OTK you in a whole different way you didn't see coming, I get more praise because it's like, oh shit, you lost to a Blue Eyes player? Oh, that Blue Eyes player is X1? Oh shit. What are you playing? And like, it's just different. So it's like, you win, you're supposed to win. The likelihood of you winning with a higher meta deck is supposed to be in your favor. But when I 2-0 you, it just hits different, and that's where I want to come from. It's like, I want to top a regional for deck I love, so it's like, all right, if I manage to win, I want to go for fun, but I'm also competitive, so I want to enjoy myself, enjoy these events, and if I win, then it's like, I'll be busted. So it's like, if I win with Arcana Knights, then I'll be that one player, rogue player, nobody sees coming, all these meta decks, and there's one player that won. Let's say I win, that one with Arcana Knights or Blue Eyes. So it's like, that just makes me stand out way more than the normal. And then it's like, oh shit. But this is the dilemma I'm stuck at for the last few days of figuring out what to do and play, and I've been playtesting them nonstop, both of them online. And like I said, they both do different things. This has recursion doors and lockouts, floodgates, that if I do it right, depending on my opponent's hand too and the interruptions, they can't do nothing. Well, this just does something different and plays different. So it's like, it's just, oh, I'm fucking stuck. Like, help me out here. Like, good feedback or something, or what do you think logically versus, you play what you love. So it's like, the harder the cards, play with what you love more, but it's like, you still want to go with a competitive best version of your deck. And this version, nobody's playing Blue Eyes the way I play Blue Eyes. And I can even synchro Apprentice with Dictator of D, which people don't see. Like, you don't need them to be tuners, but they both equal 10 to bring him out, because his effect is I can substitute one of them as a tuner. So then he's sitting on the field, my cards can't be destroyed by battle, and they can't get over Jet. Jet will bounce something, but then let's say they negate it, Jet still stays there because he's here. So it's like, my decks just do different things and present different problems they don't see coming. And especially the first time they play my deck, they don't know what to do, and catching them off guard and the unknown just gives me the advantage. Well, if I play somebody long enough, then they figure out what I do, then they know what to stop and what to target, because you're familiar with me and my deck. So it's different. So I'm planning on not playing until regional, so that nobody knows what the hell I'm playing or how I'm playing it, so I can have the unknown advantage. But am I going to go with Blue Eyes Horus, or am I going to go with Arcana Knight Horus? Well, for now, I'm going to play Black Ops and not think of it. When you don't think of something, you get the answers. But I'll be having my computer on at the same time, looking over the decks and thinking of ideas, and go with whatever I feel is more competitive to stopping the meta now, because that's what I want to do. Even if I go Joker straight, bring out King and Queen and tribute them for Vanity's Ruler, if they can't get over, they're playing a combo deck and they can't get over that, then they just can't get over that. So like, simple things, give simple answers that they can't get over. And they have to draw the Pacific outs. If not, it's still a random chance. Even if they have the out in their deck, they still have to draw it. If not, they could lose the game beforehand. Well, that's it. Here's where I'm stuck. Hope you're all doing good. Blessed. Play what you love what you play, and I know I want to say believe in the heart of the cards, but logically it's like you want to believe in your strategy and a strategy that works. So, yeah. But love what you play, though.